Everybody, my name is TotalNerdStatus 2.0, and it's been a while. It has been quite a while since I've made a video, but a lot of stuff has happened, and I'm gonna kind of go through it here. So, first of all, something that I noticed on Tumblr that not a lot of people have paid much attention to is that apparently it was Margot Robbie's birthday recently, and so they gave her a cake, and check this out. It's a Harley Quinn style cake. Those aren't comics. That's just like on the actual cake. All the other Harley Quinn comics, and she's all Harley Quinned up. Daddy's little monster on her shirt and the little heart tattoo by her eyes. It's just beautiful. I thought that was really cool. And I'm just now noticing the tattoo on her arm too. She's got like the little like card patterns and stuff like that. It's just, I love her as Harley Quinn. She looks amazing. Something else that I saw is this, and it is a Lego Batman and Batmobile from Batman vs. Superman. Now, this hasn't come on sale yet, or else it would be on my shelf right now, but they kind of just teased this for, I guess, Comic-Con, because they're starting to merchandise the film. So they tease this, and I gotta say, it looks awesome. That Batmobile looks amazing. I want it. I've always wanted a little Lego Batman and Superman characters, and that's just a beautiful one, so there's that. And today is the 9th. Comic-Con is in full effect right now in San Diego, and this is what I woke up to yesterday. Boom. Oh, yes. Well, actually, first of all, somebody saw it just outside the Comic-Con hall there, and it was all fuzzy, and I was like, my gird, I'm nerding out over here, and then images started to release, and here it is. I mean, it's the armored bat suit. It's just beautiful. Also some stills were released, like they got one here of Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince at what looks like a party, and some of these shots, like I have an image that I'm going to put up on the screen after I show you all the stills by themselves, that all of these stills are like almost exact replicas of like from the comics and from TV shows like the Batman the Animated Series and the Justice League series and everything like that. They got one here of Lex Luthor where it looks like he's wearing a wig. I seriously doubt that's his hair, but so yeah, that's Lex Luthor. And then they got one of Superman here in the crowd, which is like the same sort of shot that we saw from the teaser trailer, except at a different angle, and everyone's kind of reaching out to him, viewing him as a god, and just the look on his face says he's not exactly sure how to feel about that. And then they got one here that's just, magnificent. They're just facing off together, and look at that suit. I mean, it's already got damage, like he's been in fights before, and I mean, it's just pouring rain. You can see they're all wet, and his glowing eyes, he looks just pissed, and then Superman's just like, come at me, bro. I mean, it's magnificent, but this is just my favorite right here. Boom. Oh yeah. It's from that Comic-Con footage that they showed last year, that like 45-second tease where he switches on the bat signal after whipping off the tarp, and then it shines up on Superman hovering in the pouring rain with his eyes glowing red. It's HD, and it's pouring, and it's the bat signal, and he's standing there in the armored suit with the glowing eyes and the tarp, and it's just, it's beautiful. And then Entertainment Weekly actually has this as their Comic-Con preview. It's the Trinity. Look how pretty it is. It's got Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, and it's just glorious. And then someone took it and got rid of the type, and the angle on Batman's head kind of changed, because in the original magazine cover he's kind of leaned over, and in this kind of edit where they got rid of the type and stuff, they kind of switched the angle with it on his head, which I didn't like. It kind of looks weird. But nonetheless, I mean, all the costumes look great. The three of them look great together, especially Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She just looks magnificent. And then there have been movie posters that people made. I mean, just look at that. It's just glorious. I mean, it's just... And then at Comic-Con they have all the suits. They have the armored suit and Wonder Woman, and then on the other side it's like a cube that they're showing off all 4 suits. On the other side, they got the Batman suit right next to the new Superman suit, and they're just standing together, and it's just magnificent. And then, of course, on the other side, they had the armored suit right next to the Wonder Woman suit, and they got some close-ups of, like, the Wonder Woman's sword and shield, and they have, like, this old Greek, like, ancient writing and, like, hieroglyphs on it from, like, almost like the Greek mythology, and it's brilliant. I love it so much. And then I also saw this. I mean, look at all these close-ups, first of all. I mean, just they got close-ups on all the armored suit, and even the belt is armored and stuff like that. Look at that. He's got a crotch guard. It's so great. But look at this helmet. I mean, look at all the damage that it's already taken. It's all scratched up like it's been in war before. And I love the way the cape is attached, too, now that I recognize it, because it's not really built into the suit. It's just kind of on a latch that's like welded into the suit, and it's just kind of laying there, and the cape looks kind of like torn, and it's just, oh, it's brilliant. And then they got faraway shots like this. Just look at those gauntlets, man. Those, just the arms and stuff like that is just huge. And then he's got all these like steel covering his knuckles, and like all those he's even got fins on his boots. I mean, it's just, oh, it's brilliant. I love it so much. And the eyes are glowing. That just makes it even better, because they lit up the eyes, so it's just standing there looking really, really majestic. And then here's the Wonder Woman one closer up. And you can't really see it now, but like I said, on the other side of the shield and on her sword, on her back, there have been close-ups. I'll try and find some, and if I can, I'll put them in here for you guys, but they're just like ancient... not really ancient, but they're just like Greek, hieroglyphs and stuff like that. That just reminds me of Greek mythology, and apparently that's where her origin is from. She's going to be the daughter of Zeus in this cinematic universe, which I love. I think that's just a really, that makes her a literal goddess, which she deserves, and she really is. And then here's the new bat suit in all its gray and black glory. I love how they didn't make the belt full on yellow. That would have looked really corny. I like how they made it look kind of brown and like really muted down. And just look at the detail in this suit. I mean, you can tell that it's been stitched up, and it's been like scarred and, torn apart, and he's stitched it back up, and it's just, oh, it's brilliant. I love the scowling position in the cowl too. It's just constantly in that angry position. It makes him look like he's just ready to kick the crap out of you. And then here's the Superman suit right there, and I love all of the costumes in this. I love everything about all the costumes in this. They just look so close to the comics, especially the Batman and Wonder Woman, and they just look magnificent. And I've loved the Superman suit since Man of Steel, and they haven't really changed it that much. Really, the only way they changed it is the belt. The belt is more of a square shape now, and they changed the kind of linings on his rib areas and around his wrists on the costume, and also they made the symbol of hope a little bit smaller and lowered it a little bit on his chest. But I mean, it still looks magnificent. I loved Henry Cavill as Superman, and I'm sure that Ben Affleck will do a brilliant job. And let's see what else I have. Oh, right. So, little cool thing. Like I said, back to the whole merchandising thing with this movie. We haven't seen, we saw it here. I'll show you some Batman and Superman action figures, which I think are awesome. The only thing I don't like is how they kind of cut off Batman at his torso so he can bend back and forth. I really don't like how they did that, because they kind of just like cut the suit right in half, it looks like. But anyway, on the more collectible end, we have this beauty. The new bat suit. It's just brilliant, and it's fully detailed, and it's just, it's magnificent. And then we have this one, which is just amazing. I mean, his cape is in motion, and the detail on his suit and his face, it's Superman. It's brilliant. And the logo is under both of them, and, the Batman Superman logo. But then it got even better, and I saw this. And just look at that, man. The detail. They made it look like real steel, and I love how his cape is just kind of like flowing there, and he's standing there and he's just ready for a fight, and you can see all the scarrings on his suit and his belt and just everything about it. He looks so big and he looks so menacing, and his eyes are white. I absolutely love the small ears on the armored suit. I mean, the small ears on the regular suit are amazing in general, just because they go along with how big he is and how menacing he is. I just think giving him long ears would kind of be weird. I don't know, they could probably pull it off, but I personally have always liked the short ears. But then when you look at this armored suit, they still made it have short ears, sorry. But they made it look just so beast, because they're not sharp, it's straight out of the comics, which, by the way, check out the shirt I made. Oh yeah, it's brilliant. It's probably my favorite panel of all time. But anyway, I mean, it's just straight up out of the comic. I mean, in this comic, in the armored suit, it's kind of pointed, but just, I love the way they did it, because it kind of has a flat top to where they're not really sharp, so it looks like he kind of just built it up and then cut it off. And it's just brilliant. And then they also have other pictures where they showed off Batman's gadgets from inside the movie that just look amazing, like this one with his mask that looks like he's trying to work on the armored mask in like the early design stages, and then he just kind of gave up on that design because he couldn't quite figure it out, so he started to make the real design. And I love that because it's just got wires all over it, and you can see how he's got the basic skeleton of the cowl down, but he never quite finished it. And then the batarangs, those are the same batarangs that we saw in that one leaked set photo a few months ago that kept getting taken down everywhere, and everyone was like, oh, there's some pretty cool batarangs, and since they keep getting taken down, they're probably real, and they are, and they look awesome. It actually looks like you can kind of fold down the wings and the ears, but it just looks amazing. And then they got like grapple guns and smoke pellets, and they even have a grenade launcher for like smoke grenades and stun grenades, and just, it's all laid out right there. Like, this is Batman's gadgets. And the thing that I love about what they're doing with Batman in this is that they're just taking him straight from the comics and putting him in a live action movie. I mean, they're not dumbing it down and making it realistic. They're not giving him some weird belt that he can only carry one gun on that doesn't have any pouches, like from the Dark Knight suit. I never understood that. Like, what was the purpose for his belt? He had one button that was an EMP that shut down the lights when he was fighting Bane, but that was it. It was that and the grapple gun from Batman Begins. It really did nothing else. But this new belt is straight out of the comics. It's got like straight up pouches that he can hold like all these smoke grenades and stuff in, and you can tell that they're really staying put and being true to the source material. And that's what I love, because you can't dumb down Batman. I mean, the way they did it in the Dark Knight trilogy, I personally didn't like, looking back on it now, because they made it too realistic. I mean, you never saw him do any detective work other than that really pointless scene in the Dark Knight when he took that bullet out of the wall and like redesigned it with this, I don't know, it was stupid. But he did one scene of detective work that was completely pointless. But in the comics, he's like the smartest guy in the world, and he could figure out a crime. I mean, he's literally the world's greatest detective, and he's smart, and he creates all of these suits on his own, and he's a master of every fighting style known to man, and the fighting in the Dark Knight trilogy was just horrendous. I mean, he punched and kicked a few times, and that was about it. But I mean, they're really staying true to the actual comic book character and mythology of the Batman, and that's just what we need if we're planning to bring, and we are, the Justice League and all of these characters to the big screen and do them justice, pun intended. So, I don't know. From what I've seen so far, it just looks magnificent. I myself am going to buy all 3 of these statues when they come out. The Batman, the new Batsuit, the normal Batsuit, and the Superman will be available in January of 2016, and the armored Batsuit will be available in March of 2016, and they will each be $150. and I'm gonna get all 3 of them, and I'm gonna get Lego characters of them, and I'm gonna get action figures of them, and I'm gonna get, it's gonna be amazing. But I mean, today's the 9th, and I guess the 11th is Saturday, and that's when the big guns come firing. So hopefully they'll show us some new footage, hopefully some footage from Suicide Squad. But from what I'm seeing so far, guys, I am so hyped. I'm so happy with what I'm seeing, and I just wanted to share my nerdiness with you because I've been holding it in for a while, and I've been busy doing other stuff that doesn't really matter. But I love what I'm seeing, and I can't wait to see some new footage. I've been watching that trailer over and over and over again, like you don't even understand. But anyway, thanks guys for watching me nerd out, and I'll see you guys next time. My name is TotalNerdStatus 2.0.